Hey folks, Mac McAdams, Drag Cycling Cars. We are at Maryland International Raceway. I know everybody's tired of hearing me say what a great facility this place is, but it truthfully is. And we're at the largest motorcycle drag race in our country, known as XDA, run by Chris Miller and Jason Miller. And again, everybody knows what a phenomenal job they do. But it's Friday morning. Today is the test day for all classes, from bottom Pro ET all the way up to professional classes. What I'm bringing to the table here and to y'all's attention is I've got a special guest that I want to introduce you guys to and kind of show you a really cool thing that happened. So here we go. We're gonna walk over and talk to my good friend. Mr. McCarten, how are you, sir?
Very good.
Excellent. Folks, this is Dan McCarten. Dan, why don't you tell the folks where you're from and how you ended up here?
From Wonder Lake, Illinois, which is a little farm town about 50 miles northwest of Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I got here, I won the lottery.
Yeah? Yeah, well, I would say, so since you said you won the lottery, let's give the viewers a look at what he's speaking of. This right here is a former NHRA Pro Stock bike that was owned by myself, that is Busa powered. It's also got a Fuel Tech electronic system on it. That's the standalone that is on this motorcycle. I purchased this bike about a year and a half ago and made some monumental changes. I think everybody knows I'm a theme guy, so I do all my bikes as themes, and life kind of changed for me, and it basically opened up a nice opportunity for somebody like Dan to become the owner of this bike. I reached out to my good friend Jeremy England in Ohio, and asked him if he would be willing to do a raffle on this motorcycle. And everybody knows what a raffle is, but yeah, I think we had 200 entries, and one lucky individual with one entry for $165 is the man you see standing in front of me, Dan McCarten. How does it feel to win a $30,000+ motorcycle for $165?
Pretty amazing. I still wake up and smile and go, this is real.
That's awesome, man. I know you live so far out that motorcycle drag racing, as far as these sanctions, really tough for you to get to these races. So I'm personally excited that, number one, you won it. We've been friends for, I don't know, 15 years, give or take. And you won this motorcycle, and I know it's going to be in great hands, and I know it's been tough for you to make the 460 races. So now that you have a premier bracket motorcycle that you could run against cars or anything, something tells me you're probably going to make yourself to the racetrack to do way more racing than you did prior to winning this bike.
Yeah, it's opened up multiple opportunities to go way more places.
That's awesome.
I've stuck the other one at 8th mile. Yeah. And I don't want to slow it down because I spent too much time and money to make it fast. Yeah. But this is going to be able to go on a way more affordable level.
Definitely.
With a lot less bells and whistles and headaches than I deal with the other one.
Yeah. Well, if the folks don't know, Dan McCarten's been a long time 460 racer. Very good. He's got quite the resume. He's had his share of wins. So speed is not going to be an issue when it comes to this motorcycle. I've personally been a 771 on this bike. Dan is about 25 pounds lighter than me, so much like Dan, I'm personally excited to see what Dan's able to run as far as ET, and I know with his skill set, he's going to go rounds. So here it is Friday. About an hour from now, we're going to get him up there, get some test runs on it, and we'll get some footage of that, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. So this isn't the first time you're going to talk to Dan, so we'll stay tuned, guys. Dan's first hit on Hutch. Made 3 passes on Hutch within 3 numbers, so he's pretty daggone consistent. He's getting his 460 bike ready for another qualifying lap. So I just figured I'd show you guys really where Dan's focus has been besides Hutch. With the weather delay and all, here's just some off the body off the bike of Hutch, so you guys get a good look at you know, the Track T4 chassis we got going on, boosted powered here. With the weather delays, we didn't get as many passes as Dan was hopeful here. He ended up checking out, unfortunately, early. Okay, folks, we have a last-minute footage clip of Dan McCarten, E4 against Ronnie Procopio, 3-time champ. Dan really showed out in 460. Went 4 rounds and went up against the best, and through the kitchen sink, the living room couch and the front door at Ronnie, and just came up slightly short. Watch it here. Tight race, super tight. Dan was 1 thou away from getting it right. He went 459 with a 9. I just want to say thank you so much for Dan McCarten allowing me to be a part of. What a cool experience. I know I was a part of it, but you know, Dan really came out here and did well on Hutch and showed out on his War Machine 460 bike. I can't say enough of congratulations to Dan. Thank you so much to Jeremy England for facilitating the raffle, and that's going to be a wrap for Drag Cycling Cars, and I want to thank my sponsors, McAdams Motorsports, Monster Race Products, Full Spectrum Power, Snitz Racing. That's a wrap until the next one, y'all. Thank you.